Hello there. So it's snowing outside here in the Capital District of New York State, and I'm up for the weekend to the house that I'm going to be moving into in a couple weeks before I settle in and then take off on the trail in February. And the rooms here are really small because it's a really old house, and so for my bedroom I took the bed out today and hung up a hammock. I'm going to be sleeping in a hammock full time now. So I figured I'd do a little video of my big three. So this is where I'm going to be hanging my hammock at home to sleep in. The hammock I have right now is not the one I'm going to be sleeping in at home, but this is the one I'm going to be taking on the trail. It's the Dutch Gear Chameleon, and the beautiful red top cover helps kind of keep the warmth in. Since I'm going to be leaving in February, I'm going to need to try to keep myself as warm as possible. Once it warms up, I will have somebody ship me out just the bug net and send back the top cover. For an underquilt, I have the War Bonnet Yeti, which is rated down to 20 degrees. Since it's only a 3/4 underquilt, my feet are not covered. I will be bringing the Thermarest Neo Air short, so I can use this, blow it up lightly, put it in the foot box of my top quilt, and keep my feet warm. Can also use it if I have to go to a shelter for any reason, weather, or I just feel like staying in a shelter. Now for my overquilt, I have the Hammock Gear Burrow, rated to 20 degrees. And once it warms up, I'll be swapping both of these out for my 40-degree system. I also have a quilt liner made by Dutch Gear, which is an argon quilt liner. We'll keep the quilt clean, we'll add a little bit of warmth to it, and then in the summer months I can also just use this as opposed to a down quilt if it's too hot. For a pillow, I have the X-Bed pillow. Blow it up, it's a pillow, put a buff over it, it's comfy. Now we're going to be moving on to my tarp. The tarp I have is the Hammock Gear Cuban Fiber Tarp with doors, and I made a custom Cuban fiber stuff sack to put it in. The reason why I made a custom sack is I wanted a long sack in order to tie it to the bottom and outside of my pack. So this way I can just slip it in, put it on the back of my pack. If it's wet, I don't care, doesn't get anything else in the pack wet, and keeps more space in my pack for other things. And as you can see, the pack is the Z-Packs. Z-Packs Arc Haul in beautiful blue. Had the pack for a little over a year now and almost 200 miles on it, and I absolutely love this pack. Carries well, extremely light, fits everything I need. As you can see, I got a little tear in the mesh pocket in the front. I just dabbed a little Gorilla Glue on there, put some duct tape. All good. Duct tape sells everything. On the pack, I have the side pouches. Now, one thing I like about the side pouches is it keeps things available right away. This pouch, I keep my water filtration system, so it's right there and handy whenever I get to a stream crossing. And also, if it were to get wet, it's not going to get everything else in the pack wet. This side, I've got my pack cover there. I'll put things like my bug net, bug spray, tent stakes, anything that I want to keep track of and have handy throughout the day. Now, I also got the shoulder pouches. I have one on there right now. I got a second one that came in the mail that I haven't put on yet. I use the pouch, the shoulder pouch, for snacks and everything throughout the day on my week-long this year. And if I like them, I'll keep them. If I find I'm not using them as much as I thought I might, I'll just pack them up and send them on home. One thing I love about the Z-Packs is the very big hip belt pockets. I'm going to be upgrading to an iPhone 8 Plus, and I know that this pocket is going to be plenty big enough to store my phone. And since it's highly water resistant and the water resistancy of the phone, I'm not going to have any problems. There it is, my starting big three. All tested, but who knows if it's all going to work.
So we will find out when we hit Springer Mountain on February 20th. I cannot wait.